Okay. I'm going to start this by asking you all a couple of questions. Who's got a business plan? Yeah, some, yeah, okay. Who's got a business plan that is something like War and Peace, looks like a Bible? Yeah. Katie, how many pages?
3, maybe.
Right, yeah. There's a thing that's called plan on a page. So even if you've got a plan on a page, a one-page plan, it's a plan. Yeah. Lots of different sort of ways to look at plans. Some are very corporate. As you know, I'm chair of the board for a housing association. That's a very corporate plan. It's very lengthy and necessarily so. Lots of us on here don't need that length of plan, but they do need a plan. My job is to try and convince people to say that everybody needs a plan. And I'm going to just talk through in this insight some of the reasons why that is the case. So the first point on the slide is about getting clarity from right from the start of your business. So if you remember when I first joined, 8th of January, Matt said to me, focus on a single, or a very single sort of product or product set that is really what you do well, and that's one reason to have a think about right from the start of business. You could waste a lot of time trying to be all things to all people, and like I did right at the beginning, come up with a list of 20 products and services that I would like to sell. Guess what? None of them sold very well at the beginning. Yeah. One reason to have a plan. Yeah. Fundamentals of the business. I'm not going to pick on all these, otherwise I'd be here all day. But fundamentals of the business. Why are we in business in the first place? What is it that drives us? Why do we want to do this? What are the key products and services? What are the customer segments? How much profit do you want to make? What is it? What outcomes do you want from the business? Are you really clear on what outcomes you want? Are you happy to sort of have a steady income stream? Do you know what that amount of profit might be? Or are you really into the high growth stuff? And you might want a business plan for high growth, but you still want that. How much do I want to be profiting in the next 1, 3, 5 years? That sort of thing. Yeah. So thinking about that. Outcomes need to be underpinned by goals or targets and measures. So what are your vital few goals? And why have 30 measures? You might have various measures you want to think about. Say, this would be a good measure for my business. But actually tracking 30 measures is probably not the best thing to do. So think about 3 or 4 key performance indicators in your business that would really help you to track whether you're on progress or not. Sensitivities and risks are vital to have a look. Who thinks they've got risks in the business? Maybe, yeah. So I think we all have some risk to the business. It's just not everybody understands that. So who saw COVID coming along at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020? Yeah. You saw that coming along, brilliant. Okay. Who had to stop going on holidays, for example, in 2020? So it's about thinking about this. I'm not picking on Chris particularly, but actually it was a real showstopper, wasn't it, Chris? At that point, like that really transforming businesses. As well. So what about operating costs for your business? Do you really understand what your costs to the business are and what's making money leak out of the business? Yeah, there's some good investment stuff in there that you can do, but actually, have you really thought about whether you've got sufficient cash in the business to be able to fund your operating costs? Yeah, because cash is king at the end of the day. Yeah. No cash flow, no business, or real, severe risk to your business. And how do we move that business forward? Okay. Okay, so if you're at a standstill in business, if things are stagnating, you might need a plan to get you out of that. Yeah, for example. Yeah. Are you struggling to get enough profit, for example? And of course, if you do the same things moving forward that aren't working for you now, you'll get the same outcomes. Yeah. Cash we've talked about. Okay. A business plan should never be written and then go in a dusty drawer. Okay, it's a plan that is a living document, and it's there for a reason. You've written it for a reason. That's what focuses your mind, and it is something that should stay close to you to make sure that you can deliver on those promises that you made when you wrote it in the first place. On investment and support, I don't know whether any of you saw Johnny Vegas's program, Carry On Glamping, last night. But basically, he had some great dreams, but no clear plan about how he was going to achieve them. So he was looking for a new site to put his glamping pods on. And the landowner said, "Where's your business plan?" And Johnny didn't have one. Okay, so maybe scripted to a certain extent, but actually a real clear issue about, where's your business plan, Johnny? I want to understand what your services look like when you put your glamping pods on my land. Yeah, things like that. Just one example. Right. Loads of stuff on those slides, but I want to just talk about briefly about our next public online workshop. So this will be cross-network. Is your business focused and sustainable? It could be the wisest £15 you will ever spend. It's a one-off, or I might run them depending on the success of them. But we'll see what this looks like. It's a 1-hour business planning workshop with speed networking and a masterminding problem-solving type session. Hold the date, please. If you're interested in coming along, it's Tuesday, the 16th of April, 1:30 to 3:30, with more details coming soon. So it'll be advertised publicly, I think on Eventbrite, and other platforms are available, of course. It'll be on Zoom and led by me. So as I said before, if this is for you, but more appropriately, if you can think about anybody that might be interested in this from across your networks, then we'd love to have them along. And I will finish at that point. So I don't know what that. I feel as if that was sort of just about within 10 minutes. But if we've got a bit of spare time, if there's any questions.
Very good, Phil. Very good indeed. 15 quid, mate. The only thing that confused me, it's a 1-hour session from 1:30 till 3:30. I was a bit confused there.
So it's 1 hour of business planning workshop and networking opportunities either side of it.
Brilliant. Well, there we go. 15 quid, folks, for 2 hours. Message Phil. Fantastic. Right. Any questions, any comments, please? Emma Smith.
Hiya, Phil. Any particular business sectors that you specialize in, or is the sort of business advice that you give relatively generic to every business, because they're the kind of key things that every business owner should be doing?
Well, every business should have direction and focus, so that can be a generic. I have a lot of knowledge now around the housing sector, so that's an area that will probably be targeting moving forward. This particular workshop, it's all sectors can get some benefit off this one.
Okay.
Of course, it's what happens after this workshop, isn't it? As well, around that. But I will be putting some other services on in future, and very much they will be segment focused. They'll be targeted to a particular segment rather than being all things to all people.
Got it. Magic.
Any other questions? Any other comments? Phil, is there still a stigma of business coaches being American nonsense like it was at the beginning, out of interest?
Well, some people love business coaches, don't they? You know, really get sort of particular benefits from them. You know, but I see articles that are other, you know, oh no, not another business coach, you know, heard that in the last couple of weeks, you know. So I think there's a balance to be struck. Some people really understand the value of having somebody that can hold that mirror up to them. For me, as a business coach, it's not about what I want you to get out of it. It's about what you want to get out of it. So those sessions, any sessions that I do can be really, really tailored to the problems that you've got in your business. Is that nonsense? You know, could that be described as nonsense? I don't think so personally. You know, I don't think that is nonsense. If I can coach people to help understand what their problems might be in business, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses might be, where their opportunities might lie, what their threats might be, what the macro environment looks like. Yeah, for me, I can add value in that way. Do people have adverse opposing opinions in all walks of life? Absolutely, yes.
For sure.
It's my, you know, it's my job as a business coach to explain what value could be added from a business coach, and hopefully, you know, that get help to get that message across to people.
Good stuff. Right, I've just turned on a setting which goes boop, when the hand goes up, and it's Katie. It's like a little popcorn. Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Thanks for that, Phil. I've just got a question really in terms of getting the right people on that session for you. So appreciate that the support you can offer goes across multiple industries. Is there a particular type of person that you want to work with?
I'm interested. I'm in the startups are a difficult one. I can support startups, but it's a difficult market because they have no money at the beginning quite often. And quite often they go to the funded support, you know. So how can they get free business coaching? Oh, I'll go to the Growth Hub, you know, and they'll give me help with startups. So that's a difficult market. In the same way, high growth is as well, because there's a lot of growth support to, you know, for the larger, more ambitious organizations, you know, to hit their targets and do great things for the economy. My niche is going to be the people in between, the people that are stagnating. Yeah, the people that think they're doing okay, but perhaps need a bit more support. Okay, so I don't quite understand why I'm not earning the same as last year, for example. Yeah.
Okay.
And also helping people with the potential risks. You know, hindsight is a wonderful thing, but I can have lots of conversations now, which is around things like, you know, is there a threat out there of another pandemic, which is not COVID? Yeah. And we all have to get jabbed up again, and that might close a number of businesses down for another year.
Okay.